Okay, so we're back. In the last video, we managed to register our company, but when we got thrown to our edit page, we got an error, and that's because we didn't have an edit page. But for today, we're gonna see how it actually all plays out. So before we get into that, there is some changes that we have to make. And the first part is that we need to go to our orgcompanies.scss and we need to edit it with some new code. So you could just copy this code from the files that I've attached and customize it to your liking to to a format that you would like to see. But other than that, it's just standard CSS. Now I want us to go back to our sidebar. Now, if you've seen this bracket is not supposed to be here on line 17, so I would like you to remove that. And we'd also want to make some changes. So for company information, since we have routes now for our company information, I want you to make it to company path current org person dot org company ID. Now this one is a show path to our org company's controller, which we have right now. So we're good on that end. Now, I also want you to change the no, not the personal purchase history, but the overview, because we also have a path to that. And that is the edit org person path with current org person as a parameter, and that would bring us to our user's profile page. And that's pretty much all the changes that we need to make. So let's just hop on back to our register page and register a company. So let's call this company fish for lack of a better name. And let's pick the supplier to be, let's pick the type of company to be supplier, would be Fake Avenue, and the business number would be, let's say, that's a good business number, 666, 444s, and quadruple twos. And let's register and see how it goes. So, right, we got thrown over to our profile page because if we look into our code, so let's go to our code and let's look at the create function. Now the create function is when we create a company, it goes if there is a company and if we manage to save the contact information, then we'll have to throw them to the edit or company path and with the message thank you for registering your company. But we didn't attach this company to the user yet, so the user in fact does not have a type position. So when we go to edit or company path, what happens is that this gets run. So only a COO, director, and regional manager are allowed to edit the company information. So that's why this before action actually ran. So that's showing you how a before action is run. So it ran this allowed to edit company info function, and once it got into edit, it ran this function to see if they had a position in the company. Well, at this point, I want to show you in the database that in this point, if we check org people, our guy Donnie doesn't have a org company. He didn't belong to a company yet. So then he has no position. So if we go to his profile page and if we move it to company fish, which it is part of the company, let's see, something's up here. So let's just regenerate this. So company fish, let's just save changes to see if changes were made. Okay, so we saved the changes. That's all it took. So we saved the changes and all this showed up because now he's part of a company. So if we go and click this run sign, you can see that the org company ID is 3, which correlates to the company that we've just made, company fish with an ID of 3. But still, we know that he isn't the COO. Why? Because the COO would be able to see something extra. He would be able to see payment settings. So this makes sense. Every time a person creates a company, we shouldn't make it so that they are automatically the COO. We should have them contact us that okay, they're making a company and they're gonna be appointed the COO, and we can appoint them as the administrator of our apps as the COO. So this kind of prevents people from making fake companies and attaching them as the chief operating officer. So that's how we coded it right now. You can code it yourself or manipulate the code or change the code such that when they register a company, they automatically become COO. I just didn't want to do it this way because if they make a company, I want them to be legit. I want them to call me and I want to talk to them to make sure that they actually are the chief operating officer of the company so that I can know that this is a verified company. So that's how it goes. And if we go to type position ID and we change this to 1 to show that he is the COO, then we should have an extra payment settings if we refresh the page. Let's see if that comes up. So there you go. There's the payment settings, and that's pretty much how we register for our company and how a user must call us in order for them to be verified as the owner or the COO of their company. So I hope you learned something today. It's a really interesting video I made here. So please rate, comment, subscribe if you think you learned something or you enjoyed the series. Then and leave any comments or questions in the comment box below, and I'll try to get back to them as soon as possible. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.